Hey, what's up, 745er? Sky in the ceiling. How you feeling, Katie?
I'm feeling adventurous.
Adventurous. Okay. I like that. I think we've heard
And
that one
you?
before, actually.
But yeah, I think I have hit that.
I'm feeling professional.
Professional. I like
I
that.
do
Oh, that
have
was
the
actually a great
I
one.
got this. Thank you. I have this light up here, but also it's kind of related to what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Today, Zach and I are talking about what are the steps you could take to discover what you might want to do in your professional life? I think it's a question a lot of teenagers have, but also a lot of people who are just like young adults who are fresh out of college have because some of them don't take a path that's like it gives you a direct job, if you know what I mean.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that and the ways that we've tried to do that. So yeah, do you have any? You want to go first? I have a list of things too.
Yeah, but first I just want to preface that like me personally, I'm like the kind of person who would like think something's like really cool for like from like either like 2 weeks or like 5 months and then like switch up all of a sudden. But I have found something that's kind of like interested me for a while now.
Mhm.
And it's like obviously this like mental health psychology sort of stuff. Yeah, but anyways, I kind of a theory about this
Mm.
actually, about like how you kind of how you should decide what you want to do in your future. And I think it should be based on what you did as a kid. Like
Ooh.
you start kind of broader, like were you a social kid or were you a introverted or extroverted versus
Okay.
introverted kind of person?
Mhm.
And I guess that doesn't mean like social versus non-social, but like
Mhm.
sort of that realm. And then also maybe like, did you play sports? So like, were you a team sport person or were you an individual sport person? So like,
That's good.
how's your cooperation there? Maybe you played, or maybe you did like theater or something like that. And, that can kind of like attest to like creative skills and like
Yeah.
being able to do something that like you're not, or being something that you're not.
Yeah.
Sort of those are like just kind of like if you like just because you played a sport or like you played baseball when you were little,
Mhm.
maybe you don't have to go to the major leagues, but you can
Right.
take kind of the concepts of like coordination, teamwork, spirit, hardworkingness,
Yeah.
and you can kind of take those little concepts. But yeah, that's my first little take.
I like that. I think it's a good like starting point. I think a lot of people change from when they were little. Like if you would believe it, like I was an
Hmm.
extreme introvert when I was little. Couldn't speak to a single person. Was terrified. But I think like maybe like when you're like I wouldn't say like your adolescence because like you still change then too. But I think like those core things of did you gravitate more towards like teamwork things or
Yeah.
stuff like that
Yeah.
could help you pick. I was gonna say a lot of it is just experimental. Like I wouldn't say that I was actually the most adventurous kid growing up, but I think I was down to try anything once if I was given an incentive. So I did try a lot of different things. And it actually doesn't have to be things related to a career. It could just be things, experiences to know what you kind of like. So for example, I tried basketball, not for me, but like what I learned is that I gravitate towards non-teamwork sports. That's not to say I appreciate teamwork building in like school senses more, but I think everything is very experimental and you should just try, regardless if you're an introvert or extrovert when you were little, just try everything. Especially because like if you try everything before you get to college, you'll have a good sense of who you are, what you like, etc. So like for example, I wrote down like you should try volunteering places because it's a free way to get experience and like everyone wants volunteers, right? Free labor is just like the best. So yeah, you could try a bunch of different careers and internships are always great. I mean, even unpaid. It's just like you're not like getting money, but you're gaining like an experience that's like invaluable. You know what I mean? And then
Hmm.
I also would say if you're fortunate enough, like I think Zach and I have had great opportunities to talk to people who've had such interesting and weird careers and like have had such paths. I would just like talk to those people, like ask them like, what the hell did you do to get to where you are today? What did you do? And honestly, you're not gonna follow their path exactly because like they had doors open for them that you're not gonna have for you might have extra doors open for you. But it's just like a good way to get a sense of like if I went to business school, I could also become a lawyer. Or if I went to law school, maybe I become a venture capitalist. Like there's so many paths that you just don't know connect. But like when you talk to people who already done it, you can see their connection. So that was like what I had down.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm a part of the like Friends Assemble Institute, like, Teen Advisory Council, and they had a career day, so they brought in all these, like, psychologists and psychiatrists, and all of them had about, like, 3 career switches of, like I mean, all mainly in the realm of psychology,
Right.
but, like, they switched and, like, some jobs, like, I just had never heard of before. Like, it's kinda crazy to think about, like, the amount of, like, jobs that, like, we just don't know exist or, like, will exist in the future. Like, there's, like, such a good chance that there will be jobs that don't exist right now that will
Yeah,
exist in the future
especially with AI.
that are just yo, yeah, that too. And I guess now that you mention it, like, AI is probably a good resource to help you find something that you could probably do as a profession. You know, it's, like, very helpful with getting resources from across the internet. Yeah.
I will say something to also keep in mind is that some jobs leave because of AI. Like coding right now is just like not the best field to be in because AI knows how to code itself. It's just there's certain fields now that if you're doing a major I read a Wall Street Journal article about this yesterday. If you're doing something that's mostly on a screen, I mean not like what we're doing, but like if you're doing it like you're the one typing, you're the one graphically designing, your job might not exist in 10 years. So just to be wary of that, not to scare anyone, because an expert in the field will have a job. You know what I mean? Like if someone needs to direct AI, but just something to be careful about. I would also say, like, if you are trying to go more low key, like, you're not, like, hunting for, like, job possibilities, but you're just, like, kinda interested and, like, you just wanna get a vibe. What I did in middle school, and I was, like, completely like, I wasn't thinking of doing it for this reason, but I just kinda ended up I watched so many career shows. Wouldn't recommend wasting all your time on television, but I watched doctor, surgeon, cop, firefighter, lawyer, like name it. Like there's probably a show about it that I've watched. Detective. It's not accurate, but like you kind of get a sense of like kind of like the vibes of it. And for a while there, I wanted to be a surgeon, and now I'm like kind of interested in medicine, but like not surgery. Just like you kind of just see like, oh, it takes this many years to get this many credits, and like you're dealing with these type of people the times. I would say like trying to expose yourself to it as much as possible, regardless of how you do it. Because when you're younger, like, obviously you're not gonna have the job and get to try out every job. So just exposing yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I recently finished season 1 of The Pit, and I'm on, like, season 2, episode 1 or 2. It's a show basically where it's, like, it goes, like, in real time at a hospital, so each episode is, like, an hour at the hospital, and it definitely, like, changed my perspective on the ER doctors. Like, it was honestly, like, very inspiring. Also, at the same time, though, I'm like, "Okay, wow, there's, like, a lot to consider," but I think it's something you definitely have to be up to the challenge for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like that. And also even just like general research, I mean, it's not as fun as a good show, you know?
Yeah. But just looking it up.
But yeah, uh, I would also just say, yeah, I guess like to Katie's point of just like, I would also like just trying everything, but like try before you deny specifically. Cause I
Right.
feel like there's sometimes there can be like a lot of like preconceived notions about a job or something. And I just think that like, maybe like you're the person who fits that job. Maybe like, some other people or even if a lot of people, don't I guess appreciate that side of business of something, I think like or don't even want to do it. I think that like that makes an opportunity. Because if no one else wants to do it, then you could be the perfect person to do it.
Yeah. And also, like, one more thing to preface is like there's no rush. Like I know
But
we're saying
yeah,
like you want to do all these things, like but you can also just like have no idea and like that's completely okay. I think like the problem is like when you're like saying I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, and you've just never tried. That's like the closed mindedness is gonna be like your enemy. But really there's no rush and you should take your time and like explore, explore, explore. One thing my dad always said is do something you love and just be the best at it. Cause I know that everyone's worrying about the money. Like that's great. And like I know like I worry about that sometimes too. But if you're like really into it, you will be passionate about it and like want to look for more and the money will come is like the vibe I go for. So, I think that's like a secondary worry. Like you don't like job, what's it called? Like job, uh, compatibility, not compatible.
Satisfaction?
Satisfaction is like a number one leading cause of like mental health problems. Like
Mhm.
people who have jobs that don't have job satisfaction, like it's really hard to live life. Cause think about it, it's like a majority of your life is your job. Like you're spending like 7 to 8 hours like on your job every day. That's like all your day. So you want to pick something that you are willing to struggle through and love continuously. So it's a grind, but that's just something to also keep in mind.
Yeah. I feel like I can see it, um, in people when, they don't enjoy their work. Like
Right.
and it's kinda disappointing that, today, the norm is oh, the 9 to 5, you know?
Yeah.
And so hopefully there'll be some counterculture of people trying to enjoy their work. But I've even seen it in my relatives when they're just constantly complaining about their work. And it's like I feel bad but it's honestly inspiring and to say okay, this isn't I need to find something that I want to do. But also on the other hand, you can make things fun for yourself even if they're not going to be fun. You
Yeah.
know? So even if your job is a sit down job or something like that, but you're not a sit down kind of person, maybe the work environment is a fun environment, you know?
Yeah.
Or or maybe you can make it a fun work environment or you can, make friends at work or you can I mean, some people meet their wives and husbands and partners at work. And so I think if you I think the message here is just if you put your foot forward, and you really keep trying even, after attempts and attempts and attempts, because it probably won't work out the first time,
Yeah.
um, you can find the joy in it.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I really like that. So I think the message here is try, try, try. Find what you love and just go with it. And you can make, as we always say, you can make any bad situation a great situation. What
Yeah.
was that word we use? Like a situation.
Situation flip.
Yeah, you can
Situation
situation
flip.
flip it. And it's important to learn to live with things in a positive mindset. It's so helpful. So go with that, take that, and then we hope you guys try out different careers, different activities, and we hope you find your thing because that's really important.
Yeah. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.